The Civilian Oversight Review Board for the RCMP was budget dependent. In other words, we will look into something if we have the money. Now, I realize you can't give a board a blank check, but there has to be some kind of independent way to make sure that they are, objective way, I should say, to make sure that they are independent enough to investigate what they feel they ought to investigate. And surely bad police behavior cannot be sacrificed at the altar of not having a budget.
One of the most damning conclusions to come out of the Nova Scotia Mass Casualty Commission report, that RCMP misconduct is only investigated if there's money for it. The report into Canada's deadliest spree shooting released on Thursday, and commissioners underlined that community members, police, and others knew about the shooter's violent history, but nothing was done.
People slow down, and pardon the expression, but would rubberneck at traffic accidents. Everybody would slow down, take a look. They talk about the accident. You read about it in the headlines. When it comes to intimate partner violence, gender-based violence, family violence, people still, in this day and age, look away. People still look away. And that allows that harm and violence to continue to seep out into our communities.
The report also found RCMP heard from Portapique residents that the killer was driving a replica RCMP cruiser, but concluded eyewitnesses must have been mistaken. Commissioners also noted that the Mounties there had no emergency plan for this kind of incident and were slow to communicate with the public and their own officers. Despite this, the RCMP's interim commissioner did not apologize for any of this, only for the pain experienced by the community.
And you've heard Assistant Commissioner Dennis Daly say that the mandate of policing is ensuring the community is safe. And on that particular day, in the circumstances that we were facing, we weren't able to keep the community safe.
Interim Commissioner Duham emphasized that he had still not read the Commissioner's report, understandable given its 3,000-page length. However, he also said he hadn't seen any of the Commission's recommendations.
I'm not quite sure exactly what time we got the one of the versions, and I'm not quite sure if it's a full version or just the executive summary, but I'd be happy to come back to that. I haven't seen it and I haven't gone through it.
We will take the time now to properly digest and understand the recommendations and the conclusions and the opportunities that the Commission has put forward for us to take up. There's no question there need to be changes, and there will be, but we will take the time to get those right.
The Prime Minister among those in attendance for the report's release, alongside the Public Safety Minister and Nova Scotia Premier, but unable to make concrete promises yet. However, the brother of one of the victims underlining that some sort of progress must be made.
I'm hopeful that they've listened. If they haven't, I mean, this has been such a publicized event right from the get-go that I feel it would be a major hit in any of their careers to not at least work with the people to get stuff done.
In Ottawa, Xiaoli Li, City News.